Hello, welcome back to the channel and welcome to something new that I want to start doing because it's really piss easy content to make and it makes me post more than one video a week, so I figured why not. This is Tier List Tuesday. Hopefully every week I'm going to sit down, I'm going to pick a tier list that's to do with something that I enjoy, and I'm going to ramble on and talk shit about the things while I rank them. And today I thought that I would start with a game franchise that I am fairly passionate about and I play way too much of, even still to this very day. And that brings us to a tier list featuring every Guitar Hero game ever. Now, I've already started by putting 5 of them in haven't played, so we're going to go over them right now. We have the arcade, that's this bad boy over here. We have the arcade one. I've seen one of them out in the open, but I'm pretty sure it was out of order, so I didn't play it. We have the 3DS ones. I never ever played these, and I think it's a logistical nightmare. I look at the controller and the way that people had to play it and I go like, that doesn't look comfortable, that doesn't look fun at all. But there's, hang on, I gotta get close here, Modern Hits Decades and On Tour. So I haven't played any of those ones, and the last one in the haven't played section is Guitar Hero Rocks the 80s. I know nothing about that game outside of the fact that I'm pretty sure it's literally like it could just be DLC for Guitar Hero 3. And Play With Me by Extreme is in that, and the only reason I know it is in that is because it's in Guitar Hero Smash Hits, which I have played and we will talk about when I get to it. So the way that I've set up the tier list, I have shit, okay, good, great, and the GOAT. Now I'm going to put everything that I think that's great, including the GOAT, in great, and then at the end of the video I will put the GOAT in the GOAT, so that we don't spoil that. So, without further ado, we are going to start with Band Hero. Do I own? Yes, I own Band Hero. Here we go. I'm going to pull this out. Band Hero. Okay, here it is. We're going to start with Band Hero. Having a look at the back of the case, it's showing me the guest characters, which, actually, let's just go in the scene for a second. Boom. So this one has Taylor Swift, the dude from Maroon 5, Adam Levine, I think that's his name, and the entirety of the band, No Doubt. This was more centered around pop music than the usual rock and metal that all the other Guitar Hero games featured on them. So we're going to have a look at some of the songs on here. Put Your Records On by Corinne Bailey Rae, I think that's how that's pronounced. Rio by Duran Duran, Our Lips Are Sealed by the Go-Go's, ABC by Jackson 5. So there's nothing advertly hard on here. This is a very, very easy game to finish, except the last song in the game, which is I Want You to Want Me by Cheap Trick, but it's a live version which has like 20 guitar solos in it. That's kind of difficult, doable, but difficult. I tend to not be able to get 5 stars on it sometimes, but I really, really like this game. This gets a lot of shit because it's obviously not a difficult game. It's a very easy game. It hasn't got anything by like Metallica or Maiden or Dragon Force or any of the hard metal shit, but it is still a really fun set list. I liked also what they sort of did with all of the usual characters from the Guitar Hero series like Axel Steele and Izzy Sparks, and they just sort of mainstreamified them and made them look like pop stars, which I thought was cool because this is what this game is about. It's a very pop take on the Guitar Hero formula, and it works. It's fun, it's really good. There is a great selection of songs in there. I have a lot of fun with it. I'm not going to put it in great, however. I think I literally just said it. I think it's great. No, it's good because it's not all that difficult. That's the only reason I'm not putting it in great, is because there's no really fun songs to play, which, and like difficulty wise, there's so much enjoyable music. I'm just putting it in good based off the whole difficulty. Moving along, we have our first game of 3 that we're going to look at, which is featured around one band. Now, I didn't know a hell of a lot of Aerosmith stuff before I played this game. And this is one that I didn't play when it came out. I played this so much later on when I started collecting Guitar Hero games a couple of years back. So I didn't play this when it came out. I feel like maybe I have a different opinion on it if I did play it when it came out, but I didn't. But this is like my first proper dive into Aerosmith, and what I kind of liked about the Aerosmith's the set list for this game is that there's not a hell of a lot of the popular stuff that I knew from Aerosmith. So no Janie's Got a Gun, no I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Walk This Way is in there, that's a great song. But yeah, not a lot of the stuff that I knew. So I was shown a lot of new Aerosmith music playing this game, and it made me realise, yes, Aerosmith is a good band. So I've just pulled out the case again because I do own this. I wanted to have a look at the guest lists and set lists, but it's not going to tell me that on the back of it. It says Lenny Kravitz, The Clash, The Cult, and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, and I cannot actually tell you what songs from those artists are in this game, because I think out of the 3 band-centered games, Aerosmith, Metallica, and Van Halen, the guest list on this game is kind of shit. It is really bad. I can only think of one song that is a guest song, and it is The Dream Place by... Is it Cheap Trick? I think it's Cheap Trick. They're getting another mention in this video. But yeah, the guest list really, really lets it down. But also, as much as I do like Aerosmith, there are a lot of songs in this game that I sort of feel like they just drag a bit. And there really is only so much Joe Perry scumbag blues guitar and Steven Tyler screeching I can listen to before I go, okay, I've had enough. It's not shit though. It's okay. Moving on to Guitar Hero Live. This is the 2015 reboot of the season. The series moved away from the 5 coloured buttons and moved into 2 rows of 3 buttons. You had 3 black up the top, 3 white down the bottom, I think. And I really enjoyed the new button layout. Not as much as the 5, it's not as good as the 5, but it wasn't as awful as what you see people talk about online about it. What was awful about it though, and what I didn't like, was the whole first person, you're performing live and that was your view. Like, you are there, first person, you're looking into the crowd, you're looking at your bandmates, and I didn't like that. I prefer the sort of, like, how they do it in all the other bands, all the other games where it's almost like a movie, like they're filming the concert and you can see all the different band members playing and stuff like that. I much, much prefer that layout to the first person stuff. I feel like it was just so pointless. Did not like it at all. You watch everything once and you go, yeah, sick, like it's their whole thing was to sort of make you feel like you were there, but I'm playing a video game. Like, I want the over-the-top stuff, I want the cool stuff. This is not one of those things where I'm really going to care about realism because I have a piece of plastic in my hand and I'm strumming a mechanical mechanism up and down. I don't care about realism. I will say, however, I think it is really cool that if you start playing shit, then the video will change and your bandmates will look really pissed off at you and you'll be getting booed and you can see the crowd booing you. That's cool, but I still don't think it's as good as the original structure that they had for the games. It also comes with it also came with, because this isn't even a thing in the game anymore, a second mode called Guitar Hero TV. And the way that sort of worked was there was 2 live channels constantly playing, and from memory, they had half an hour sort of thing. So like on channel 1 for half an hour or for an hour or however long it was. Like, oh, you might have rock hits, but meanwhile on channel 2, pop hits is playing. And then when rock hits finishes on channel 1, it might be a hip hop hour or whatnot. And basically what you did was you flicked between the 2 channels, whichever one you wanted to play, and you would get Guitar Hero credits, and then you could spend them on an on-demand play. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, I was too young at the time to know or whatnot, but I'm pretty sure it leaned very heavy on the microtransaction side of it. It's like, hey, if you don't want to play the live channels, then buy these credits and you can play whatever song you want and you can just buy it. And I never did that because, like I said, I was younger. Like, I was 15 with no money to my name when this came out. Actually, no, I was a little bit older, I think. Regardless, I had no money to my name, so I wasn't putting money into this game. And also, I found that, you know, you just played 5 or 6 songs on Guitar Hero TV on one of the live channels, and then you could go and play something you wanted. I found a lot of good music through Guitar Hero TV. There was a lot of good stuff. And also in the background, I forgot to mention, the background is just the music videos. And that, to me, was just another shit decision. It was lazy. It was, you know, I loved the original Guitar Hero, and is that nostalgia talking? Yeah, probably, as to why I didn't like the new formula and I didn't like change, because the old one was one of my favorite games. But I just felt that this was like their one sort of crack at going, hey, we have one more chance with this, let's see how much money we can get out of it for little effort. So, while, yeah, there are some good things about it, and I didn't mind the new button layout, and I didn't mind the way that it played, I am going to put it in shit. Because it's not Guitar Hero. I feel like if it had a different name attached to it, I might have enjoyed it more. But just because it had the Guitar Hero name attached to it, when you're putting it up against everything else that we're talking about, it's shit. Moving on now, and we have another band-centered game. We are talking about Guitar Hero Metallica. And Metallica are one of my favourite bands of all time. I remember as a kid, I used to play Guitar Hero 1, 2, and 3, and this was before World Tour came out. And I used to draw, and I'm not an artist by any means, I was shit. I used to draw like mock-up front covers and back covers to Guitar Hero games, and I would write my own set lists on the back. And I remember designing one for a potential Guitar Hero Metallica, because they were my favourite band growing up. And I remember playing Guitar Hero World Tour over the Christmas holidays in 2008. And in the extras section, there was a videos tab, and it had like behind the scenes stuff and like all of the story mode cutscenes. And there was one that just said Metallica, and I was like, what's going on here? So click on it, boom, Guitar Hero Metallica coming out 2009. It was genuinely one of the best moments of my life up until that point. I'm not kidding. It was one of the best moments of my life up until that point. And then getting the game and playing it and just being a massive Metallica fan. Like, I'd had all the albums up until that point on CD, from Kill 'Em All to Death Magnetic. I'd seen a bunch of the movies. I owned S&M on DVD. I had the Metallica's music video DVD. I was Metallica obsessed growing up. And this game just felt like it was made for me. The set list was honestly perfect. I feel like they could not have picked anything else to make it any better. Like, it was just the perfect Metallica set list. The only thing that I would probably have done as a kid, and now not so much now, but my favorite Metallica song of all time is The Unnamed Feeling, which is on the Saint Anger album, which is my favorite Metallica album, which I get a lot of flack for, but it's my favorite album. The Unnamed Feeling is my favorite Metallica song. I would have put that on there as a kid because it's The Unnamed Feeling, but now when you think about it and you listen to that song, it's just a lot of the same riff over and over again, and it's a pretty long song, and there's not a hell of a lot going on there in terms of musical stuff. So the one change that I would have made as a kid, I don't want to make anymore, meaning I don't want to make any changes to this game. I'm going to ramble about it for a little bit longer though, because being able to unlock Kirk, James, Lars, and Rob, and also classic versions of them going through, I thought that was really, really cool. However, I feel like they might have missed the opportunity to do something really cool with, like, finishing the bass career 100%. Maybe should have given you Cliff Burton, and I feel like Jason Newsted should have gotten some love in this game as well, but I guess, I mean, that's a whole licensing thing. I don't know whether or not they were plans to or whatever. That's something I would have pushed for, is to get Newsted and Burton in there as well. I know I mentioned the set list on the Metallica side of things, but when it came to the guest side of things, I think this is sort of like a 50-50. Like, some stuff is really, really good. Like, I love War Ensemble by Slayer. Toxicity by System of a Down is one of my favourite System of a Down songs, but there's also a lot of shit in there too, that when you get to it in the story, you're like, ugh, like, I don't really want to play this. Like, Mother of Mercy by, I don't know what they call it, Samhain or something like that, I think. It's one of Danzig's bands. That song's a bit of a punish. There's a song by Bob Seger, Turn the Page. And I was really upset that Metallica didn't put their version of that in there, because that's one of my favourite Metallica songs, even though it's a cover. But Bob Seger, or Seger, whatever his name is, his version of Turn the Page, it's just a bit long, a bit shit, goes on for a bit. And also Tuesday's Gone by Lynyrd Skynyrd. Now, 9 times out of 10, I hate playing Lynyrd Skynyrd songs in Guitar Hero because of how long they go for. But at least stuff like Call Me the Breeze and Freebird and Sweet Home Alabama, those are pretty fun. Tuesday's Gone, just long, slow, bit shit. I know I'm saying quite a few negative things right now, but I feel like I have to say negative things about the games as well as the good things, because there are things that I don't like about these games. But in overall opinion, Guitar Hero Metallica is great. I think it is an absolute love letter to any fan of Metallica. I think they absolutely nailed it in terms of the vibe of it as well. The story mode's great, the pacing of it's great. It's great. I'm putting it in great. Moving on now to Guitar Hero Smash Hits, and I recently watched a video essay, and God, I can't even remember who would have done it, but I remember them just sort of complaining and going, oh, it's just a cash grab, it's just a cash grab, and they were sort of talking about it from the perspective of you buying it in the moment. I've never looked at it that way because I never bought it in the moment. I got this a few years ago when I was collecting the games. So my honest opinion of it, and I'm going off the fact that I paid $3 at Sex for it, is it's a good game. It is a fantastic collection of some of the best Guitar Hero 1, 2, 3 and 80s songs. The fact that they redid them with vocals and drums and bass is really cool too. I have never been able to play this game on drums, as I've never ever had a working drum kit for Guitar Hero, which has always pissed me off because I really, really, really want to play the drums on these games. But the collection of songs that they've picked for it is, I think, like very, very good. That's some analysis for you. But no, I mean, like, it's got lots of the really good introduction songs, like your Smoke on the Waters and your, I think, Hit Me With Your Best Shot. Hang on, I've got it here. Let me just have a look at some of the stuff in the set list. Oh yeah, it also features an Aerosmith song from Back in the Saddle as well. From Back in the Saddle? It is Back in the Saddle, from Guitar Hero Aerosmith. But let's have a look. Miss Murder by AFI is one of the best songs that was on Guitar Hero 3, so we're already off to a really good start. Through the Fire and Flames is obviously in here. That's a cool inclusion for people who wanted to play it on the drums. And also, this is running off the World Tour engine, and to me, the World Tour engine is my favourite engine to play on. So it's World Tour, Metallica uses it, Smash Hits uses it, and I'm trying to figure out if anything else here uses it. Does Van? No, I don't think Van Halen does. But yeah, Metallica, Smash Hits, and World Tour. Those are like the three games to me that feel the best to play. That's my favourite engine to play on. So going from playing, like, I don't know if clunky is the right word, but especially Guitar Hero 1 and 2, they kind of play like shit. And I have recently revisited them, and they do play like shit. So it's really cool to play some of these songs in a more refined game engine with the new mechanics like the tapping. Hammer-ons and pull-offs were a little bit more responsive as well, which I thought was cool. But yeah, going back to how I started though, if you were to pay full retail price for this back in the day, for just songs that you have already played on guitar, I can definitely see where you would get annoyed. And this is sort of the start of Activision and just the Guitar Hero team in general, just pumping these out way too close to each other. And I think, like, if we look at it, the first game in the series here, Guitar Hero, that came out in 2005, I think. And this one, the last game in the series, came out in 2010. So all of these are coming out in like 5 or 6 years. And when they are just reskins of the last game with just different songs and whatnot, like, yeah, I can see why people don't like it. However, I do like it only because, like I said, I paid $3 for it. I'm playing it on the PS3, which doesn't have Guitar Hero 1 and 2, so this is the only way for me to play some of those songs. However, I do think, because it is just a greatest hits collection and it's not its own standalone thing, it's not great. It's good. It's not great, though. Moving on to the final band-centered Guitar Hero game that we're going to talk about, it is Van Halen, and sort of similar to Aerosmith, I had no idea about anything to do with Van Halen, really. I knew Hot for Teacher, and that's only because of Guitar Hero World Tour, and I knew the song Dreams because it's at the end of the Power Rangers Mighty Morphin movie. So that was the extent of my Van Halen knowledge. I knew that Eddie Van Halen was a great guitarist. He plays on Beat It by Michael Jackson. That's a great song, and he does some good work on that. But like that was my Van Halen knowledge. So this is one that I didn't pick up when it first came out. I got this a few years ago when I was collecting them all, and I played through it, and this game made me realize two things. Eddie Van Halen is fucking awesome. David Lee Roth is a jerk. I don't know why. I just think that Van Halen as a band, I would enjoy them so much more if that asshole wasn't singing, because I don't like his voice. I think his lyrics are really shit too. But man, Van Halen Eddie is such a fucking good guitarist, and this game is so fun to play just because of Eddie and all of the guitar work that he does. There's so many weird, cool, different things that he does as well, like where he has the song and he's got like the drill or something up to the guitar, and you can do that as well, but don't actually put a drill on your guitar because that's just a piece of plastic and you'll probably fuck it up. But the three little instrumental pieces that they have in there are Spanish Fly, Cathedral, and Eruption. They're three of my favourite songs to play across the entire franchise because of just how fun they are. They are really, really fun charts. The other thing that's worth noting as well, and I'm gonna, hopefully this has it, yeah it does. So there is 19 guest songs on this game, and I think that Van Halen, out of the three band-centered video games, this has the best guest list, and I'm gonna go over it. So Blink-182 First Date, and obviously I'm going to say that because I'm a massive pop punk person. Fountains of Wayne, Stacy's Mum, Jimmy Eat World with Pain, Yellow Card with The Takedown, Pretty Fly for a White Guy with The Offspring. So like there's lots of good pop punk in there, and that's obviously what I'm all about, and I really, really vibe with that. But also some other really good rock songs in here as well, like Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind, Dope Nose by Weezer, what else have we got? Best of You by Foo Fighters, and also I just wanted to say that Killswitch Engage, which is on here with The End of Heartache, they are the best metalcore band in the world. So Van Halen has the absolute hands down, no competition best guest list. Now I would, honestly, I feel like without that guest list, it's okay, but that guest list is going to bump it to good because of how much stuff is in the guest list. Yes, I enjoy the guest list more than the Van Halen stuff, but there's still some good Van Halen stuff in there. But I hate David Lee Roth. So we are on to the final game in the mainline series before they revived it with Guitar Hero Live. This is Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock, and I'm going to tell a Warriors of Rock story that I have, because it's one of the vivid memories I have of growing up. So it's 2010, it's Christmas, and we had to move house on Boxing Day, which is the shittest time to move house, but what are you going to do when the real estate's kicking you out? So we had to open our Christmas presents and then just put them away straight away. We couldn't use them. We couldn't use them because, no, we got to move tomorrow. The whole house is packed up. The only thing that's in the lounge room is a fucking tree. So you open your presents, you put them in a box, you pack the box. Guess we'll worry about it in a few days when we unpack it. Well, not me, because I spent the entire day just thinking about Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock. That's all I could think about. Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock. So, Boxing Day arrives, it's moving day, moving truck comes in. I make sure my entire room gets on that truck. TV cabinet, cords, power boards, everything is going in that truck first. Get to the new house, unload the truck. I decide, hey, I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to go back to the old house. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to help out here. You know what I did? I unpacked my entire fucking room straight away. Xbox, TV cabinet, opened up the Guitar Hero finally, put it in, loaded in, and played it straight away. Because that's all I could think about. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't care about moving house. I was done. Everyone else could go fend for themselves. I was playing Guitar Hero. Now I'm going to actually talk about the game. This is, in terms of content, this is the biggest Guitar Hero game. Because of the new quest mode that they introduced, where you have to go around as every individual rocker and unleash a power, and there's actually a story behind it. There's a reason why you're doing everything, and the story is actually really, really good. It's really fun. I like the fact that when you think you're done with the story and you beat the final boss, you have to go back through, because you've unlocked every single power up and you can use every power up at once. You have to go back through and play every single song again and get 40 stars, which was crazy because the limit that you used to be able to get was 5 stars or 6 stars for perfect, but now it's 40 stars because of all the powers. And I have a very, very good time doing that. I've dominated the quest in this game a fair few times, and I imagine I will do it again in the future sometime. But when you've done that, they have a mode called Quick Play Plus. Now in all these games they have Quick Play. It's you go in, you just pick a song, you play it, sweet as. This one introduces Quick Play Plus, where you can do that, you can go in and you can play a song, but it introduces challenges. So for example, you could click on a song and it'll bring up about 12 challenges, a few different ones for each instrument, and there might be hit blue notes in this song, or use the whammy bar for a certain amount of time, or get a high score but while star power is activated. And it made you play every song in the game like at least 4 or 5 times, just trying to do all these challenges. And I think that was a really, really, really good concept, and I wish they kind of did one more like that. I wish Quick Play Plus was featured in like one more game, just to get a little bit of longevity out of it and maybe even add some more ideas to it. But I think they knew that this was their last one. They were obviously losing money every year because people just couldn't afford to keep buying these games every year. But as a sort of last hurrah, if you don't acknowledge Guitar Hero Live, which not many people do, as a last hurrah, this is a fantastic game. I haven't even spoken about the setlist either, actually. This is the biggest Guitar Hero, I think. There's over 90 songs in here, according to the back of the case. And I won't say the songs, but I'm just going to rattle off some of the bands here. Avenged Sevenfold, Black Sabbath, Def Leppard, Def Clock, Dire Straits, Dragon Force, Foo Fighters, Kiss, Linkin Park, Megadeth, Metallica, Muse, My Chemical Romance, Neil Young, Nine Inch Nails, Pantera, Queen, Rammstein, R.E.M., The Rolling Stones, Rush, Silver Sun Pickups, Slash, Slayer, Slipknot, Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots, and The White Stripes. Just off that list alone, there is so much variety in just that list alone, and there's still another 70 plus songs to go over as well, ranging from so many different genres. I found so many great new bands just off this game, and also this is the only Guitar Hero that has Nickelback in it. So, with all of that being said, this game is great. Guitar Hero World Tour is what we are talking about next. It is the game that introduced the drums and the vocals, and also you could actually choose the bass outside of the co-op career for the first time. And that was such a mind-blowing thing to me. As a child, playing Guitar Hero 1, 2, and 3, I didn't even imagine being able to play the drums or doing the vocals or whatnot. Not that I really cared too much for the vocals. I mean, SingStar had been a thing for a while up until that point, and that was something that I didn't really like to play because I didn't like singing, which is really funny considering that I'm a singer in a band now. But as a kid with zero confidence, you don't want to sing. That's not great. You do, however, want to play the drums, which I didn't get to in this game. So we're just going to talk about it from a guitar aspect. But Guitar Hero World Tour is one of the best games just off the fact that, and I mentioned it when I was talking about Metallica and Smash Hits, that engine that they use for World Tour is just the best. It's the most refined, just everything about this game is awesome. I love the set list as well. This was me discovering a lot, I mean all the games are me discovering a lot of great music, but this one in particular. And I think that was helped with the fact that there was a lot of guest stars in this as well. I am trying to think off the top of my head who's in this. So we had Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins, Hayley Williams from Paramore, Travis Barker from Blink-182, Zakk Wylde from Black Label Society, Ozzy Osbourne was in here as well, Sting from The Police, Ted Nugent, and I don't know if I'm missing anyone. I know Jimi Hendrix is in here as well, but he's not playable. The only time you see Jimi Hendrix is when you play one of his 2 songs in the career mode. That's Purple Haze and The Wind Cries Mary. But the way that this career mode works, while we're on the topic of it, is cool, but it comes with its flaws. So instead of just unlocking a new venue and they go, hey, here's 5 songs, play whichever ones you want in whatever order, this one sort of goes away from that. It gives you a gig and it'll give you 2 or 3 songs that you can see in the list. Eventually it moves on to like 6 songs and an encore. So for example, in the first one, I'm trying to remember what the first set is. I know it's about a girl is the first song, and then oh man, what's the second? I don't know, but you have to play the set list in the order that it is in, and you can't skip songs. You have to finish one song before you play the next one, and not so much anymore because it doesn't really bother me, but as a kid I couldn't do certain things and you couldn't move on to the next song, which kind of sucked because like in Guitar Hero 3 you had the list of songs. It's like, oh, I can't do, for example, on the last set, oh, I can't get Raining Blood, that's fine, I'll just move on to Number of the Beast or 1 and we'll come back to Raining Blood. You can't do that here. You've got to play the set list in order, which, like I said, that doesn't bother me right now. It bothered Kid Me, but Kid Me isn't ranking these. Me now is ranking this. So, not much of an issue, but that would have been the only issue I had with it anyway. The character creator got a lot more in-depth here. You could actually design your own custom guitars and bass and drums and all that sort of stuff, which was really, really cool. I used to spend a hell of a lot of time doing that, just making my own guitars and stuff like that, and dreaming of becoming a rock star one day, which I'm still doing that anyway. There's also Guitar Hero Studio mode in this. It makes its first appearance in this one. I never really used it. I never really understood how to use it. So I don't have too much of an opinion on that. Getting onto the lovely, delicious cream of this biggie is the set list, and I'm gonna grab the case out again, just off the top of my head. This is probably one of the best set lists in the whole franchise. This was my introduction to Blink-182 as well. This is the first time I ever heard Blink. They have Damn It in this game, so that was sort of a big awakening for me as well. Paramore, that's another great discovery made from this game. I didn't know who Paramore was until I played this. Metallica, obviously I mentioned I was a big Metallica kid growing up. They have Trapped Under Ice in this game. I'd never heard that song before. There was a lot of music in this game that I'd never ever heard before. Hotel California I discovered from this game. Ozzy Osbourne and Crazy Train. This game was how I found out who Ozzy Osbourne was. So there's a lot of character development. There's a lot of Satin Black character development that comes with Guitar Hero World Tour. I literally, as of about 2 weeks from me recording this, 2 weeks ago, I played through this again. I fully finished the guitar campaign, and it's such a good game. I have so many fond memories of this, playing this one with my uncle growing up, and I like when I think of Guitar Hero, this game is the one that always pops into my head. I feel so sentimental about it. It's just such a nostalgia trip. It takes me back to such a good time, and because of that, this is going in great. I will, however, last point that I will say about World Tour, Pull Me Under by Dream Theater being the last song in this game, like the big song that you unlock for finishing the campaign, that's a stinker. But not too big of a stinker that I'm going to move it to good, but that's a stinker. Alright, so we are moving on to the one that started it all, Guitar Hero 1 on the PlayStation. I don't own a copy of this, so I can't even look at the back of it and talk about the set list. But this and Guitar Hero 2, which we're going to talk about at the... You know what? Fuck it. We're going to talk about Guitar Hero 1 and Guitar Hero 2 at the same time, because they're pretty much the same game. So these games are notoriously known for the fact that there's no actual master tracks of the songs on the game. They're all covers, and some of them aren't great, but I guess doing the covers was cheaper than doing the licensing. So there's that. The controls are a bit clunky. I find that when I recently replayed it, and I found that it just wasn't really responsive. I couldn't do all the cool shit that I can do in the other games. Look, I really don't have a hell of a lot to say about the first two Guitar Heroes. Yeah, I found some cool music from it and whatnot, but also I was absolutely shocked to find out that they were covers, because I didn't know that at the time. In terms of ranking, I'm going to... This is going to go in okay, only because that Xbox 360 port really fixed up a lot of the issues I had with it. But all the cover tracks, I can't make it good with the cover tracks. And like, for the time, I'm putting this in shit, but for the time, fantastic, revolutionary, and has set the groundwork for all these other great games. But I'm looking at it from my perspective, but you know what? I'm gonna put it on the top end of shit, because Guitar Hero Live is steaming shit. This is just shit. So yeah, I don't have a hell of a lot to say about the first two, except for the fact that they laid the groundwork very well, but there is not a single reason to revisit either of these ever again, really. So yeah. Alright, moving on to Guitar Hero 3. We have 2 games left, and Guitar Hero 3 was really where this series hit like mainstream, sort of like, this was where it got really, really popular, and everyone was kind of going Guitar Hero mad. This is what sort of started that, and this is like, there's so many different reasons for that. So first of all, Slash from Guns N' Roses is on the cover. This is the first game where they actually got people, like real life musicians, in there. So Slash and Tom Morello are in this game. The other thing is that I'm pretty sure it's all master tracks. There's no covers in here. All the songs are the original versions of that, which is a massive win as well. And this this game had the song Through the Fire and Flames, which everybody knew about, and everybody was like, that is the absolute peak of Guitar Hero. Can you do that on Expert? Fun fact, I actually can't in this game. In Smash Hits, I can sometimes, but in Guitar Hero 3, I still have never ever done it, and I probably never ever will do it. But yeah, there's a few reasons as to why this one was the huge mainstream success, and it was because of those reasons. And also, the set list in general is just fantastic. once again, we're going to grab this out, we're going to have a little look at it. So these are just the songs written on the back. So it says there's over 70 tracks in this game, and they're not all written on the back. But here's what's written. I'm just going to read some of them. Anarchy in the UK by the Sex Pistols, Knights of Sidonia by Muse, Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses, Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden, One by Metallica, Painted Black by the Stones, Sabbath's Paranoid, we have Cherub Rock by Pumpkins, Bulls on Parade by Rage, When You Were Young by The Killers, and Before I Forget by Slipknot. So that's only some of the stuff on the back, but I feel like this was them really going all out and trying to make this the best thing they could, and it's so good. I really, really, really enjoy this game. I know that I said I recently did a playthrough of World Tour. Well, I recently did a playthrough of Guitar Hero 3 as well. I was going to go through all of them and play them again, but I kind of got sidetracked and stopped after World Tour. But the thing that I like about, the things that I like about this game personally, one, the guitar battles were sick. Being able to beat Tom Morello and Slash felt really, really good, and being able to play one of their songs with them after it as a kid, that I was so stoked. My mum was a big Guns N' Roses fan, so I liked Guns N' Roses growing up, and being able to play Welcome to the Jungle with Slash, that was a cool feeling. Second thing I like about this game, Metallica. Metallica was finally put into one of these fucking games, and it's one of my favourite Metallica songs of all time. One is such a timeless classic. I love that song so much still to this day. I've probably listened to it about 1,000 times, and at least 700 of them were probably me playing them on Guitar Hero 3. The other really good thing that I like about this game is I feel like they really refined the gameplay. It feels so much better than playing 1 and 2. Even on the PS2, when I used to play it on that. Obviously now I play it on the PS3, but back then I was playing it on the PS2, and it just felt so good. It is such a fun game to play. It is not... One word, I said clanky before. It's not clunky, it's just very responsive. It's very good. Like, if there's a fuck up that happens, it is on you. It is on you, because it plays perfectly. I really like the aesthetic of the game as well. Like, it was so... If you've played Guitar Hero 1 and 2, you know that like the songs were written on that piece of paper, and the menus were pretty shit. But they really went all out with the sort of visual presentation of the game, and it's one of those weird things, because it's a real time capsule to the time that it came out, which is the mid-2000s, but also it's paying tribute to all eras of rock, and it just feels like that's what like this is. It's Legends of Rock. This is a big love letter to rock music, and I feel like they really achieved that with the set list and the overall presentation of it. This is definitely going in great for me, because it's the one that this is the one that made all the other really, really good stuff happen, and it's still very enjoyable to come back to today. It's a great set list, great to play, great to look at, great. That's why it's in great. Alright, last game of the video, and this one is... I'm kind of glad this one's last, because this is the one that people have very, very mixed opinions about. This is the one that sort of doesn't get as much love as the rest of them, but I still think it's a very decent Guitar Hero. If we, here we go. Last time I have to lean over and grab one of these. We have a look at some of the standouts on this, for me personally anyway. The Rock Show by Blink, In My Place by Coldplay, Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting by Elton John, 2 Minutes to Midnight by Iron Maiden, and that, I think that was the big issue. These games for so long, so we had Legends of Rock, Metallica, World Tour, Van Halen, smash hits, and there's just so much rock music, rock and metal and punk, and it's very alternative. They kind of broke into some pop stuff here. So this came out around about the same time as Band Hero, and they were getting more mainstream, so they sort of started making the games a bit more mainstream, and people didn't like that, you know? They didn't like the fact that, like, Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana, Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie, Bullet with Butterfly Wings by... Smashing Pumpkins, Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash, and here's a brilliant one, John Mellencamp's Hurts So Good. there's just a lot of like popular music in there, and like, yeah, sure, there's still more underground, undiscovered artists in there, but they were really, I feel like in 2009 when they brought out Band Hero and Guitar Hero 5, it was all about tapping into the mainstream and trying to sort of like, it's weird. It's like in a band's discography, it's like that one album that the record label wanted them to do, and then funnily enough they came out and did Warriors of Rock, which was kind of like a fuck you to Guitar Hero 5 in a way, because they went back to just rock music, and this is an alternative game, fuck pop music. But back to Guitar Hero 5, I like it. I like it as a game. No, it's not one of my favourites, and no, I don't play it as much as I play the others, but there's still a lot of fun to be had here. There's a lot of really good songs towards the end of the career mode, like Scatterbrain by Jeff Beck and 21st Century Schizoid Man by King Crimson. So there's a lot of good stuff in here, and I was always a fan of sort of putting more of the popular stuff in there anyway, because I fucking love having to sing when I'm playing these games, and there's lots of good stuff to sing in here. But they're like, obviously, it's the same reason that I put Band Hero in good. It's not a very hard game, and that's what I like about these games. I like the challenge, and I like all the difficult stuff. I like to play the difficult stuff more than I like to play the easier stuff. So because of that, I will put it in good, because it is good. It's just not great. Okay, so now we have everything where I feel like it belongs. And I guess we'll do some reorganizing. I'm looking at the shit tab. I'm happy with that. Guitar Hero Live is objectively, is that the right word? Or subjectively, because it's my opinion. But also I feel like it's a lot of other people's opinions. I need to start reading the dictionary before I start talking about shit on the internet. Guitar Hero Live, worst game. Guitar Hero, the original. It's shit, but it's better than Guitar Hero Live. Moving on to the OK tab, and I'm gonna swap, because the set list for Guitar Hero 2 is a lot better. Regardless of them being covers, it is a lot better than the 30 or so Aerosmith songs and really, really shit guest list that Aerosmith has. Alright, now I'm looking at the good tab, and this is where it's going to start getting hard. I need to rank these 4 games. But they're all like really same level to me. Alright, here's how I'm gonna rank them. Smash Hits is... there we go. Smash Hits will be the best one on the good side for me. I'll put Van Halen as last, and that is literally just because of David Lee Roth, the asshole. Oh, see, I feel like either one of these could, like, this is so interchangeable. Just, you know, I'm gonna grab them. I'm gonna fucking break them, apparently. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna look at the back of them and just see what sticks out to me first. Sex on Fire by Kings of Leon kind of rips. We're putting Guitar Hero 5 there. Now, this is going to be very hard. Looking at these 4 games that are in the Great tab, this is going to be like trying to pick a favourite child. Going at the bottom of Great, I'm going to put Warriors of Rock. Only because the set lists on these 3 I enjoy more. This is all going to be based off set lists, really, because gameplay wise they're all pretty solid. Now, we put Warriors of Rock at the end of the tab, so we have Legends of Rock, World Tour and Metallica left. This is alright. I think that I'm going to leave Legends of Rock there. It's going to go Warriors of Rock, then Legends of Rock. And now that I've made that decision, I really don't have to think about the World Tour of Metallica thing, because as soon as I started making the video, I knew what was going to be the GOAT. And I'm pretty sure that you would know by now what's going in the GOAT. And that is Guitar Hero Metallica. It was something that as I said, I dreamed about it as a kid. That's all I wanted. I said I was going to win the damn lottery one day so that I could pay whoever the fuck wanted to make this game for me. I didn't need to win the lottery because they made it, and I'm very, very happy they did. And it is still to this day one of my favourite games ever. Every time I go through a big Metallica phase where I remember that they're the greatest band in the world, I tend to play through this as well. It's just something that I feel like, and of course it's not, I'm not the only Metallica fan in the world, but every time I play it I just feel like, damn it, this was made for me. This is a game that was just made for me. And I still get the same feeling that I did as a kid playing it as I do now. I just fucking love that band, and I love this game, and I will more than likely play it another 100 times in my damn lifetime because it is so fucking good. There you have it. That is going to be my first tier list Tuesday, where we have ranked all of the Guitar Hero games. I was really, really worried that I was like, oh, this will probably only take like 10 minutes. No, I don't shut the fuck up. So, and God, we only ranked what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like 12 things. We ranked 12 things and I've been talking for an hour. Crazy. I can't wait to do one of the big ones, hey? So, I am very interested to hear any of your Guitar Hero related stories, any of your Guitar Hero related opinions. I just love talking about Guitar Hero. I've done it for the last hour and I'll do it again in the comments. So if you have any Guitar Hero based opinions, or if you think I'm wrong or if you think I'm right, let me know down below and I will happily entertain a conversation with you, whether it be civil or not. If you did enjoy this video, make sure that you give it a like, because it just makes me feel nice. I like it. I like being liked. So thank you very much if you do. And subscribe, because we're going to be doing more Let's Plays and we're going to be doing tier list stuff as well. And I'm probably going to branch out of doing video game stuff as well and rambling about other things, which I'm going to get into that at a later date. But just know that there are some other things coming. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, follow all my social media, which will be linked down below as well, because I'll be doing some cool short form content on TikTok and Instagram as well, if you wanted to check that out. And until next time, I will see you guys later.